Hello and welcome to another update video about COMP. So Comp has produced one of the best 5-wave structures to the downside, in my opinion, among all the cryptocurrencies that made new bear market lows. So it's a really nice 5-wave move down. It's also a pretty nice 3-wave move up. You can count that in different ways, but certainly not as a 5-wave move, especially as it made a new bear market low. So we have a nice 5-wave move down. What does that tell us? From an Elliott wave point of view, it tells me we are in a lifetime downtrend anyway, and that we could be starting to move up in a wave 2. Obviously discussed that already in the last video, so let's dive into this. 5 waves down, so first of all, that gives me a lot of, well, it makes me question the long-term projection for this chart. Well, not really question, but it just means it's a bearish chart, right? At best an uncertain chart, but clearly bearish because the trend is clearly down. Okay, the trend is down. Very simple. Someone said it's a bullish chart. I don't see it. How can you call that a bullish chart? I mean, we need to step back from the hype and everything. Yeah, you always get that in crypto, and step back from fundamentals, the so-called fundamentals in crypto. No fundamentals, no tokenomics, nothing has protected any chart from the bear market. Now, in the bull market, most likely they will all go up. Yeah, but even on this chart here, but again, there are some charts that are just set up for lower, which will never go to new all-time highs. And Comp may be one of them. To be honest, the chart history has quite decent length, okay? But it has since May 21. It hasn't even made a new high. Some cryptos made in November 21 a new high, a new all-time high. COMP hasn't. So yeah, it can always go to a new all-time high, absolutely. But what I'm saying is I don't have a clear setup for it. There is no clear setup other than a few green candles. And the few green candles are not enough to indicate a trend change, especially not after a several year-long downtrend to new lows. So this is a setup that may eventually lead to delisting, but it may survive the next bull market, obviously, and might go higher in the sense of, okay, look, it could go all the way in this wave 2 to $430. So that means a lot. That means it can go up significantly. And I think I explained it in the last video. The challenge in this move up will be to determine how high will the wave 2 go, because from my experience, a lot of these can go quite high if they, if the sentiment is right in the market, but a lot of them can also be very shallow. That's the challenge. So that's why I personally would not trade a wave 2 to the upside, because it's a corrective wave. They can be strong, they can be very shallow. You can see the red zone, which is the standard Fibonacci resistance, and this red zone here is structural resistance. So let's zoom in now. Okay, so the idea is that here in June last year, price formed the 5 waves down. And this here is clearly a 3-wave move down, which made a new low. So I consider that this is a so-called flat structure. What is a flat structure? A flat structure is a so-called sideways correction. We consider that an ABC structure. It can happen in a wave 2. It happens more often in a wave 4, but it's certainly also valid in a wave 2. A wave, B wave can overshoot to the downside, which it clearly did in this case. And the C wave to the upside could be unfolding now. So the problem is that the C wave already fulfilled the minimum requirements. We're just looking at the micro count in a minute, but it fulfilled already the minimum requirements for its length. It did not reach the resistance, the Fib resistance, but it reached structural resistance. So this ABC structure might be finished. It might be finished. So we've got an A wave to the upside. We've got a B wave down. So yeah, because it has fulfilled the 100% extension. The 100% extension at $63 is important resistance and one target for a C wave. Now, if it extends higher and manages to break through this resistance box, yeah, it can push higher, certainly to the 1.618 extension at 117 or even 101 first. It's a 38.2 retracement. And the 1.618 extension is at 117. These are certainly levels where we would expect a bit of a reaction. Okay, so then it's all about, and that all makes this chart quite complicated. When we have this ABC complete, and I have no strong indication if it is complete, but that decision will be made on the lower time frame, so we're going to zoom in a minute. If we have a larger A wave in ABC, then this could just be the larger A wave of this wave 2. So the question is, okay, is the wave 2 here or could it be here? We won't know that until we have made one more high, because I think one more high should be coming. And then we have either a larger A wave or wave 2 is already finished. And that's a challenge where I said, look, it's there is not really clear setup here in my opinion, because it's too late to trade the C wave to the upside. And also there's no clear indication for a short trade in my opinion, because you can still push higher, but I don't have a clear top in place. So that's the challenge. After the next high, we will have the decision, okay, do we go down in an impulse and are we going to make a new low, or is it just going to be a B wave? But certainly not a valid, certainly not a, anything that seems interesting for a trade in my opinion. Like, clearly it can go higher. You can always jump on board if you like to, but it's not a clear setup. So I think in the last video, I gave you this trend line and said, look, it can certainly push higher in this third wave as long as we're holding the trend line. Now the trend line broke. So does that mean we have to come down already? It could be that we're just forming this fourth wave we've been waiting for. And the fourth wave can go down all the way to the 50% retracement. So there is wave 4 orange, yeah. So it reached now the 38.2 retracement. It's a common target for a fourth wave. If it needs to, it can extend that, come down to $46. Below 46, I think we already have a breakdown. That's what, likelihood would suggest, because then it topped in 3 waves, broke below the 50% fib level. That's it. In an ideal world, we would get this ABC and the C wave would have 5 waves. So one more high is likely as long as we're holding $46. On the very short time frame, we could say we could focus on higher now, as long as the 9th of July low is holding at $52. As long as that swing low is holding, the focus can be on higher. If it breaks, we would first assume wave 4 is resetting below that level. That's it probably. Yeah, I have no high confidence setup here at the moment. It could be a short, but I don't have a clear 5 wave move down. It looks more like a corrective move down. If we had 5 waves down, 3 waves up, you could have a short with a stop above the third wave high. But because it's a C wave, likelihood would suggest one more high is coming at some point. But we are also now in structural resistance. The parameters of this structural resistance level go all the way up to the 22nd of May high. So we talk here about $76. A break above 76 could send price to 101, and then the 117 that I said. And then we need to see, okay, do we get a B and a C and push higher? That will depend to a degree on the wider market as well. But overall, this is not a long-term uptrend setup. Certainly short-term, the trend is up. But we're now in resistance, need to see, can we break above it? And it can certainly climb higher in a wave 2, but at some point these resistance levels will become relevant. So short term the trend is up, but long term clearly down, and therefore this is nothing that would give me anything interesting on the long side. Not even possible to calculate new all-time high targets. It would need to prove that if it goes that way. But it's certainly nothing that we can see by looking at a TA. Other than trying to sugarcoat this, but it's not allowed. So that's my update about COMP. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.